Okay. Nur 255 hours. Wait, CO2 5 hours. Shifts almost over. No signs of anything suspicious or anything at all, really? Why do we even do this? Why do we even do this every year? You know now what the point of having a sentry is, right? Oh, hey, you're early. But come on now, you gotta get where I come from, at least a little. I understand if we were posted near Crossbell, but who's gonna start a war out here in the boondocks? Well, you never know, right? Perhaps the fact that you'd never expected would make it the perfect place to start a war. Wo er recht hat. Besides, Lieutenant General Randall says we need to stay on alert. He knows the situation better than we do. Lieutenant General is a great man, yeah. But what are those big shots from the 3rd Armor Division doing stationed in some backwater place like this anyway? You think that rumor's true? That he got posted here cause he wouldn't help the Blood and Iron Chancellor? What would you say? The kind of idle gossiping is how rumors get wings. Fine. Such a killjoy. Anyway, you got things covered here? I want to get some sleep. Get a few minutes left on my shift, but you're here and hey, who's counting? Honestly. Hey, the world was dead. Huh? What happened? Did it just get shelled? Who did you attack ordered? No one, I've had nothing of the sort. Something I need to know about is... What the... No way. Ah! An enemy attack! Where's it coming from? No. Oh, I know. Ich würde da runtergehen, by the way. And save. Save day, 6:30. That was a great meal. I don't think I could eat another bite. After how much we ate yesterday, I'm surprised you're still able to pack away this much food. You're all growing boys and girls, so eat up. Fighting takes a lot of energy, so I'd say eating like this is normal after they are on the plains. Would anyone like more? I should probably refrain. If there's any chicken left, we can wrap it in bamboo and take it with us. Who knows? Might need something to gnaw on while we're out here today. Okay. Me up too. I poured the leftover tea into some containers for you. Oh, thanks. You really are too kind. Sure, I guess what kind of host would it be if we didn't treat you as such? Anyway, here's the grand list of the tasks we'll be tending to today. Field study day 2 assigned task. Not Highlands, not monster. No monster has been seen around the northern part of the Highlands. Must be exterminated at all costs. You know, south west area of the Northern Highlands need to get fetched. Okay. I figured I couldn't to give you fewer than today. I feel free to take advantage of the extra time to do whatever strikes a fancy. Maybe go off the beaten path a bit. Start. You can for everything. Do you want to spend some more time with your grandfather today, Elisa? It sounds like you weren't able to spend much time with him yesterday. I didn't say in the other home yesterday, right? Imagine you ought to be up and about soon. No objections to completing this morning's task without you if you wish to spend more time with him. But... Lakan, are you there? Yes, I'm here. Oh, good morning. Kanal. Norton? Morning, everyone. Sorry to intrude. Judging by looks on your face, it seems not all is well. I'm afraid you're right. Received word from Center Gate just a short while ago. They say the Imperial Army's watchtower has been attacked. What? Sounds like it all happened in the middle of the night. And that's not the last of it either. The Republic's army's base has been attacked too. This is going to be pretty. Same day, 8 a.m. Third Armored Division's military airships Chevrolet Glee. And Republican Army's 8th Area Division Aviation Regiment Aldebaran. Yep, tensions is high. Airborne armor divisions being sent out first as well, I see. As well, it's only a matter of time before they give the order to the armored regiments too. Lieutenant General, we confirm the deaths of 2 of the guards. I've heard we have sustained serious injuries, but we've been able to stabilize their condition. Let's see. Automatic see to them the second they arrive. Yes, sir. Connect on the gate. Prepare the 3rd Armor Division for deployment. I want all armored vehicles ready to move before I return. Same day, 9:30 a.m. Are you sure you don't need us to help? I appreciate you doing this, but we'll be fine. You're used to procedures for moving the settlements in case of an emergency. The same goes for you guys. You'll be heading to Center Gate to learn more about the current situation from Lieutenant General Vander. Now, this isn't of Nord, but this is student of 4th Military Academy. Oh well. Will you be staying here, grandfather? I will. I can use the truck after all. And since I was here anyway, I might as well do what I can to get that settlement ready to move. Alright, please take care of yourself. I'm sorry, Ada, that I can't. I feel terrible that I can't help you when you need it most. You have your own job to do, there's no need to worry about us. May the blessing of the winds and the goddess be with you all. Take care. Well, let's make for Center Gate at once. Indeed, we need to find out as much as we can about what happened. The Fatara and Norden accompany the party. The northern reaches of the North Highlands are temporarily inaccessible. Yep, obwohl wir deine Sidequest haben. Ist aber in Ordnung. Müsste ich glaube nicht machen, aber sicherheitshalber. Right under the summer region, yes. I'm really sorry to put you guys up to this, but already had me more than enough yesterday. No problem, not sweat it. It's mostly kind of breaking news every year breast full of dreams of being on the scene for. So, it bothers me. How's it possible that both the Imperial and Republican vessels were attacked at the same time? Do you think one attacked first and the other swiftly retaliated? No time to think about it right now. We need to hurry. We need to get to Center Gate as fast as we can. Right. Oh, don't ride too roughly. Und dann speeden wir mal rüber.
Hiya!
Wie schon das CP geradeaus.
帝国軍が運用している軍用飛行艇だわ。
思った以上にきな臭くなっているな。
とにかく急ぐぞ。
Ich könnte mal, by the way, mal zeigen, was wir eigentlich die ganze Zeit haben, aber ich noch nicht groß genutzt habe. Wir können Poms summonen. Oh, okay. Vielleicht haben sie auch gerade, vielleicht war es auch gerade das Summon gewastet, weil wir gerade nicht dahin können. Aber gleich. Ich hoffe, es despawnt nicht in der Zeit.
帝国軍の動力装甲車。
このままじゃ
Same day at 10 a.m. Looks like the Imperial Army's 3rd Armor Division. And it appears they're preparing for deployment. Thanks everyone. Let me go see if I can get permission to start taking photographs. I wonder where Lieutenant General Rando could be. We need to find him so he can tell us what's going on here. I suspected he might show up. Lieutenant General, do you have some business to attend to elsewhere, sir? I thought I'd conduct another sweep of the area as a precaution. But never mind that now, you came at the perfect time. A freight train bound to already pass 30 minutes from now. I want you all on board the train, finish up your field studies as quickly as you can and return to the academy. What? What, sir? Things ultimately depend on the actions of the Republican army. The bottom line is that we may be mere hours away from an armed conflict with the Cover Republic. I've already informed everyone in the settlement. Did I not relay the message to you? Be that as it may, you can't just turn tail and pretend none of this is happening. Lieutenant General, have you established which side attacked first? Guys, it's a central question here. There's done an investigation. You have my assurance that the Imperial Army did not attack. We did not make the first move, nor have retaliated. Our army's watchtower was destroyed, and several guards lost their lives. As of in charge of Center Gate, I have a duty to act. So, there really were fatalities. Let's assume for the sake of argument that the damage sustained by the Republican Army's base was in fact deliberately sabotaged by the armed forces. How bad was the damage? None of the facilities suffered major structural damage. The losses appear to be, at minimum, equal to ours. Honestly, I'd estimate to be far greater. But if we suffered even more damage than we did, it doesn't make any sense. I'm afraid we've long since passed the point where leisurely discussing our possibilities was an option. I would do all I can to avoid full-scale war, but we are prepared for the possibility of armed conflict. And I suspect they are as well. But that just seems so wrong. If that's your opinion, Lieutenant General, will at least allow me the chance to investigate what happened on my own. Guys, investigate on our own? As I'm sure you're aware, I know the Highlands like the back of my hand. And when someone attempts to threaten the peace of my armament, I won't rest until I've unearthed the truth behind what's happening. You're serious? You do everything I can to help you. I think this falls within the scope of our field study too. Oh wait, this is the people of Nord's problem. It's not just for all if you just stay here and risk getting caught in the crossfire. The class my damn friend is staying behind, isn't that reason enough? I'm the son of the House of Erebonia. I would never disgrace the honor of my family name by fleeing the face of danger. It seems like your people have done a lot for my grandfather. Guys, do you remember what you said to us back at $10 Station? The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. Eat your own words, again. Diesmal ist nicht Green, der das nochmal fressen muss. It appears here plus this one guy is. Lieutenant General, it's currently 10:05. I will permit you until 12:30 to conduct your investigation. I will do everything in my power to postpone any potential conflict until at least then. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Then we haven't a moment to waste. We should begin by visiting the watchtower that was attacked. Sounds like a plan to start. That sounds like a place to start, so. Thank you. Really appreciate it more than you know. It's not a big deal, honestly. Everybody's area clan is classmates after all, and more than that, we're friends. Which is clearly of great importance to you. I know you want to protect your people, but that's not the only reason you're doing this, is it? You got me. It ties back into why I accepted the Lieutenant's general recommendation and entered the academy too. I'm sure each of you feel the same about your own homes, but I love this land with all my heart. The wind racing across the highlands, the vast mountain peaks, the clear blue of the sky, the breathtaking beauty of the rising sun, the melancholy of the sunset, the twinkling of the stars in the twilight. I love everything about this land of Nord. It's part of who I am. Oh, I guess it hadn't sunk in how much Nord means to you. I'm certainly attached to her, but I can't think of anyone else who would stay their love for their homeland so poetically. You love it so much, why to leave it behind? If you truly love Nord, if Nord is such a part of you, what is it that drove you to enroll in a military academy in a foreign land so far away? I'm not surprised you'd find it strange. To be honest, I'm still not totally sure what compelled me to do it. Back when I was a kid, the Republican Army built a base in the Eastern Plains. An Imperial Army responding kind with the Watchtower. It's made me more uneasy with every passing year. Years ago, a traveling priest from the Septian Church told me all about the history of the continent. One thing that stood out to me was just how many lives have been lost during the conflicts between the major powers. Another major theme was just how profound of an impact the Ober Revolution had on people's lives. Even the concepts of time and distance have changed so much. In fact, the Ober Revolution shrunk the world. Then I realized a sad truth, one that kind of scares me even now. There was no guarantee my homeland could stay at peace forever. That one day it might be drawn into outsiders' conflicts, and reoccupied and restricted into oblivion. Can't believe you're thinking about such weighty things even as a kid. So then, join the academy in order to learn more about the outside world that poses a threat to your homeland. Yeah, something along those lines. I realized how afraid I was. I knew I couldn't close my eyes. I wanted to do something, anything, to break this land. As luck would have it, I met a lieutenant. He's the one who taught me about Force Military Academy. One thing led to another. He gave me the recommendation. Before I knew it, I took him up on his offer. So there I was, green as grass, heading off to study abroad despite having no clue what life in the Empire was like. Thinking back on how it all came together, what you said is probably what I was thinking back then. Honestly, I fear to you, student, offer a more galvanizing reason than yours for enrolling at the academy. I have to agree. I don't know too many people who love their home so much that they would leave it behind to find a way to protect it. So a sentiment I can imagine many Erebonians feeling that sort for sure. I mean, literally Ellie. Und anstatt dass sie halt den militärischen Weg genommen hat, hat sie halt den politischen Weg gemacht und ist halt überall in die verschiedensten Länder gereist, um dort halt vor allem ihr politisches Wissen zu verbessern. Und Lloyd hat auch Koste, wo er eine Zeit lang in Calvert gewesen. Um sich einfach auch weiter ausbilden zu lassen. Aber bei Calvert ist es halt viel omnipräsenter, dass sie halt in irgendeinen Krieg von irgendwelchen ausländischen Kräften gezogen werden könnten, weil sie halt literally Erebonia und Calvert, also dazwischen liegen. Genauso wie Nord. Nur Nord ist ein bisschen nicht so manövrierbar vom Gelände her und ja. Ein bisschen mehr ein Umweg, könnte man sagen. I think I finally understand. Lisa? Just an idle thought. Whatever the guys pour his heart out to us, there's no way we can just walk away from this. But after the people of Nord gave us such a warm welcome to treat us like family. Indeed, I couldn't advise her more. Like here we get to the bottom of what's going on here and stop war from breaking out. Well, it may not be our home, but it's still an important neighbor. I'll do what I can to aid you. Thanks, all of you. Really, thank you. Ich habe gerade ein Achievement bekommen for Blade for over 100 hours. Yay. You can see shell damage everywhere. It's even worse than I had feared. They have confirmed casualties too. I don't think I'd ever have to see anything like this. As students at a military academy, things like this are always within the realms of possibility. Although I hardly expected my first sight of such devastation to be the spark that ignites war of Calvert. This may be too much for students like us to handle. You know, we've all been in situations that looked impossible before, haven't we? And every time we've come through, we just have to stay calm and think. I'm sure we can do something here too. Alright. So, we should focus on doing what we can. Whatever we decide to do, we need to get a better grasp of the situation. Let's find who is in charge and get their permission to start an investigation. I see. General Randa has given you his permission, and I see no reason to refuse. Thank you. However, I want to make it clear that armed conflict with Calvert could begin at any moment. Your caravan's full, staying on guard for any potential threat from the east. I permit you to speak with the soldiers here, but don't get in the way of them doing their duties. Understood? Okay, let's get started. Should start with speaking with the soldiers and assessing their damage. Seems wise. We've even gathered all the information we need and we can start piecing it together. Alright, let's go! Und dann? Checken wir mal alles. Is this? Somebody sir. Is something unusual about that scrap of metal? I knew it. This is a mortar shell manufactured by the Reinford Company. Are you sure? Yeah, I've seen them before on the assembly line. There are only a couple of model cables of firing this kind of shell. It would suggest that the mortar used to fire it was also made by the Reinford Company. But if you assume that's true, it seems much less likely that the Republic was responsible. Sure, why would the Republican army use a weapon made in the Empire? It doesn't make much sense to me. Even if we count for deception, it is unlikely that Calvert would go this far to consider involvement. But considering the stakes, we can't entirely rule out the possibility. Still, this might prove to be an important clue to solving this mystery. Ich bin mal schon sehr sass. Well, why did you have to go and die on me? Sad. Especially dumb, because I don't understand how he feels so. I was right when the shift changed. One came out to relieve me, and I was chattering away from like always. That's when the first shell hit us. Must have been around 3 in the morning. I was around 3 then. In the middle of the night. I was on lookout. Should have noticed something was off, but that explosion completely took me by surprise. Sure, nothing would have happened out there that something actually did. It's totally useless. Wish I just paid a bit more attention. If I'd been a better soldier, Ron might still be with us now. It's not your fault. None of us could have predicted something like this would happen. Kanal blamed himself for a lack of vigilance after being stationed in peaceful area like this for so long. Detecting in the dead of night, knowing a guard would be down, what if it really was the Republican army is doing after all? We need more information before we can say for sure. No, I don't think it was them. There's something else that happened before we came on attack. An explosion coming from the Republican army's base. When we looked, we saw smoke pouring from it. What? We knew that both bases were attacked, but did both attacks really happen around the same time? If it's so, it's unlikely that either army was responsible. Who is responsible then? We should keep this in mind as we piece things together. I mean, wir haben eine Third Party, die hier rumrennt und die anscheinend eine Mission hatte. This is awful. It really is. This looks like they got hit hard. I think there were casualties. The Imperial Army isn't going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. They have the image to uphold, after all. It looks like most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attacks could have done it from the highlands? Seems very likely. But where on the plains could they launch an attack like that from? Well, the islands are incredibly vast, we need some kind of clue to even know where to start looking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find something here that will point us in the right direction. What's the situation with the Republican army? Looks like they're really hustling over there. We've confirmed the number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area. Before their base got hit pretty badly too. And even from here, it sure looks shattering. The Lieutenant General said that the Republican gate got hit at least as hard as the watchtower, if not harder. But we believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and that sure as hell looks like one. Do you really think it's true? That shipment seems awfully excessive. They probably just got overzealous with explosives. Doesn't make much difference either way. If they're brazen enough to attack us, we will blow them back across the border. Soldiers here all seem to have their doubts. But without any hard evidence, we are not going to be able to convince them of anything. We should reconsider the possibility that this was a deliberate act of sabotage by covert forces. I think that's all the info we can gather here. I think so too. Now we need to analyze what we've learned. First we should establish a good picture of what was happening when the attack occurred. It seems like the best place to start. So first of all, what time did the actual attack on the watchtower happen? 3 AM? That's what the guards told us, but it wasn't all that was going on then. That's why the Republic's army base also came under attack. And according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage than what happened here. If we can safely discount the possibility the Republicans' army bombed down forces then. But there's no evidence that the Imperial army launched an attack either. All I know is that both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. However, as I said, we have no evidence to suggest that either side was responsible. Except this fact, the most likely scenario is the responsibility lies with another party entirely. So you think a third party is working behind the scenes to provoke both countries into starting a war? Tensions between the Empire and the Republicans are always high, but compared to other areas of similar political value, the North Highlands have always been peaceful. I can conceive of no reason either country would have decided to break the peace last night. I agree. If anything, it seems that the negatives would outweigh the positives of both parties. If this were Crossbell, it might be a different story, but here? When you mention it, we found something else out about the attack on the watchtower, didn't we? Something that seems to point to a third party's involvement. Something's out about the attack on the watchtower? Oh, I bet she's referring to this. The weapon that was used. You're talking about the mortars used for the attacks, right? Exactly. Looking at the other mortars they used in the attack were an old Rheinford model. And I, for one, find it pretty unlikely that the Republic army is packing Erebonia-made weapons. Indeed, they have little reason to be considering the Republic has its own major orbital technology manufacturer, the Werner Company, as I recall. Yeah, the Werner Company is responsible for manufacturing most of the arms used by the Republican army. Then there's the fact that the mortar used here is old. The Imperial army hasn't used this model for years. I've heard that military surplus sometimes makes its way onto the black market and ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Knowing that, it seems unlikely that either army chose to use this to cover their tracks. Quite. However, there is a far more pressing question we need to answer. What do you mean? I know where you're going. You need to know where the attack was launched from in the first place. Oh, that's going to be difficult to work out. But without the vital detail, all our speculation thus far is thrown out. If we intend to rule the war, we need more than speculation. We need a conclusive evidence. Great. But the hints are far too vast to just strike out searching blindly. Especially with the Lieutenant General's deadline rapidly approaching. Actually, you may not have to start out and search blind. If Alice and guys would lend me in, I might be able to help. Huh? What do you have in mind? We can factor the location of the damage to give the speed and trajectory of the mortar shells, and then take into account the Highlands winds. I may be able to estimate the area from which the mortar was fired. Potentially, anyway. Am I serious? Sounds easier said than done. I'll do what I can. I'm familiar with the specifics of the shell that was used. I think so, it's an old model, but I should be able to give you some rough data. That would be plenty. Let's have another look at those damaged areas and start our calculations. Please come with me, everyone. Right. Oh ja, es gibt einen Bonus-AP. Alright, I think I've calculated a rough location. I believe the mortar was fired from a location to the south of here. Use the map as a reference point, that means it was likely launched from somewhere in this area. And according to my calculations, the round side shouldn't be too far from here. I can't believe you managed to work that out. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I enjoy watching Regnitz really sweat it out, trying to best you on our next midterm. Just a little applied physics. I don't have time without this and guys' help. Looks like we've got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands. Which seems like it. Let's take off and start looking. Right. And then it has reported the findings to the soldiers in charge and asked them to ready enter to the center gate. After set out on horseback to begin the search. Alright, I started looking for where the motor was actually fired from. If what MMS calculates is correct, we should have been fired from a point south of the watchtower. And most likely from a point that's easy to overlook, so that's not found out. Let's see if we can find anywhere that fits the description. We likely need to run them up to Airbus. But okay, would still be there. Regardless, we should see what we can find. So, question? Okay, it is not da. Ich kann nur noch nicht zu ihm gehen, das ist das Ding. Aber gut, er bleibt da, selbst wenn die Locations weg sind. Das ist halt schon gut zu wissen. Hey, over there. Oh, you found something? What's the robot doing on the way up there? I cannot believe his presence here to give me a chance. Do people not use this area for anything? Not that I've known of. I just got much more suspicious then. If the motor was fired from somewhere up there. It definitely seems worth a look. I'm just not sure how you're going to get up there. You can't reach that rope ladder from down here. It's alright to climb up the cliff face itself either. If you have any suggestions, now would be a fine time. I believe I have an idea. What if we were to make use of this orbital ball? A ball? Oh. If we're able to hit the cord that's tying the rope ladder, perhaps it would unroll itself for long as to climb up. I'm glad you think I'm that good of a shot, but I really don't see it working. It was just a thought. Yeah, it's not like we have any better ideas. I'll give it a try. True enough. Time was one resource we don't have much right of now. Searching for some enough tool to pull it down would cost us precious time as well. I can't really argue with that. Alright, here goes nothing. Yeah. Emma hat was gemacht. It actually worked. You seem to have the markings of a great hunter. It seems this is a day for lucky shots. We have to start calling her a quick draw Alisa. I just imagine things or did that arrow glow for a second? Ja, it did. Emma hat was gemacht. Und es wäre nicht das erste Mal. Das dritte Mal, dass Emma schon was gemacht hat, was sass war. Well, now that we can reach the ladder, why don't you go have a look on top of the cliff? Yeah, let's see what's up there. You got noticed. Ha! Now looky here. There! Exactly the smoke gun we were looking for too. More smoking launcher, but okay. Well, old orbital mortars, or rainfall models too. And looks like they've been used recently. So this is where they were hiding them. I can see why they chose this base. Ooh, a thing to look here. They must have fled the area after frying them last night, leaving the launchers where they were. Unfortunately, those alone do not furnish enough evidence to report the war. You're right, unfortunately. We just had a bit more evidence. So, this is a solid step forward for our investigation. Would you want to send a gate and let the Lieutenant General know? That sounds like a good idea. Right, let's go report. Okay, wir haben gleich eine Time Trial.